Hi, it's Mag, and I'm here at One Night Only, and with me is Dan from Powerwash Simulator, showcasing Powerwash Simulator 2 and a number of things that are in the game and coming to the game. But let's start at the beginning. Tell us about what your role is and how involved you are with the game.
So I'm a designer. I've been there a number of years now. I've kind of lost track, but feels like forever. But yeah, I'm kind of hands-on day-to-day, working with the artists to make what they create as fun as possible. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into it, kind of beneath the surface that maybe people don't realise. But yeah, as a designer, it's just making sure all the shapes are good, and the experiences is just as like fun and satisfying, as soothing as possible. But yeah, it's good. Pretty hands-on, day to day.
So, with the new game, which obviously has been a massive success as well.
Yes.
Obviously, you've had to add even more levels into it, more ideas. What were kind of the sort of things that were maybe ideas that didn't get into the first game that you brought across, and what was new stuff that you were like, oh, this would work and this would make it even more challenging? So
we've got an absolute treasure trove of ideas. One idea that I think was originally might have been for the base game, can't confirm or deny because I'm not quite sure, but I think the model village was meant to be for the base game, but then we were like, we can do this better with the new tech capabilities we've got for the second game. So it was worthwhile holding off on that just to make sure we could make it absolutely massive. And it is one of the best levels. There's so many details on every little street corner and stuff like that. So it's really fantastic. But yeah, there's always ideas flowing, and there's always things that are kind of like, wouldn't it be cool if we could do X, Y, Z? But mainly it's about finding out what would actually be a fun job and not bordering on too absurd or too silly. But yeah, there's a fine line to walk, I think.
Yeah, I think that's one of the unique things about that game is it feels like you're doing some proper work in the game, but then some of the outcomes are like, yeah, this is a bit obscure, a bit out there, but you could see that happening, like, you know, cleaning a giant Ferris wheel, cleaning a miniature village, as you said, even things to like, I think in the second one, like the second level is literally like a camping site with a nice little woodland area, and you're like, would I ever see anyone out there power washing anything? But no, but it's feasible, so it works, which is great.
Exactly that. There's a line to walk, and I think the game thrives the most when it's kind of on the borderline of not sarcastic, but just kind of like a bit tongue-in-cheek. Obviously, there's things like, how do you make washing a toilet fun? But somehow we've like figured it out. We've got the formula, and I think that's what we're excited for most going forward. Is like, now we know like the metrics of what makes something really, really fun. We're just going to keep pushing that envelope, bigger levels and more satisfying moments where you just kind of completely lose yourself, and you're like, all of a sudden 2 hours have gone past, and you're like, oh my god, I've just been cleaning this bouncy castle, for example.
Which we've got a bouncy castle behind us, which we'll show off in the video in a little bit, which is crazy. But like, where else would you like? I'm not going to talk about what might be coming to the game yet, but where else would you like to see the main game go with the things?
The main game? I think we're going to be expanding that through the Caldera Chronicles jobs, which are the free jobs we put out. And it's interesting because one of the best things I love about the game is the plot that people don't even realise is happening, because it's almost like a Forrest Gump situation where you're just in the wrong place at the right time more often than not. But I think I'm excited to see more of that being pushed forwards in the Caldera Chronicles jobs, so that'd be really, really fun. And yeah, the writers, when they get the ideas flowing out, it's just one of those things, like you can sit there for hours and just listening to all the crazy ideas. You're like, 90% of this is never going to make it to the game, but the 10% that does is going to be gold, and it's like fantastic. Yeah, it's really good.
Obviously, literally, you had a flurry of DLCs that came out for the original game. Great stuff like Back to the Future, SpongeBob, Tomb Raider, and then with this second one, obviously we had Adventure Time was the first pack, and literally it's just come out the Star Wars pack, which I know a lot of people are excited for. Is there any hints of where it could go? And if you're not allowed to talk about it, that's fine. Is there any packs that you would personally like? Any properties that you've not seen that would make a perfect fit for Powerwash?
Obviously, I can't say what's coming up in the pipeline, but a few things I'd love to do. I would love to see some kind of anime crossover or something like that, because it's always interesting when we have to kind of approach the art in a different way. Like the SpongeBob job was a completely different art style. More recently, the Adventure Time stuff, and that's like, all the creative gears just have to kind of step up another notch to figure out how to do that well. But yeah, I'd love to see that. I mean, personally, on a completely personal note, not a hint of anything to come, but Dragon Ball Z pack would be fantastic.
That's a good shout.
That would be a dream come true.
Yeah.
You can see it now, all the flat surfaces, the hyperbolic time chamber. Yeah. I'd proper nerd out for that, I think.
I think that would be a huge success if that came out.
I think so too.
Yeah. So, obviously, do you want to tell us a bit about what you've got here at One Night Only today? Because obviously we've got a big screen showcasing the game, and this giant is part of the bouncy castle, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you want to talk a little bit more about what went into that?
Yeah, it's kind of this came from an idea an artist had of making these in America. I think they're a bit more prominent, but these huge kind of full-scale environments that are just all inflatable for kids to run around on. And it's a bit Total Wipeout kind of vibes, I guess you'd equate it to. But we were like, that's a fantastic idea. And then when you actually play the job, the narrative is the castle blew away in a different county and lived in the clouds for a period of time. So you'll see there's jet fuel and all sorts of ice and stuff from when it's been up in the clouds. It's just really, really fun. There's loads of really cool physics and stuff like that. So we kind of push the envelope in that sense. And it's also an absolutely massive job.
Yeah.
All we see is people saying we want bigger, 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 bigger. And this one really pushes the envelope about how big can a job be. So it's really, really fun. And it was just a great experience to work on because I think it lends itself well. The shapes are naturally quite interesting, and there's a bit of nuance to getting the angle down the middle of which it sounds ridiculous, but these are the things that we have to consider to make a job enjoyable. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. And there's a lot of fun, interesting, kind of quirky characters sitting in there.
Okay.
I won't say that there's a hidden subplot about a frog trying to overthrow the King of Spring, but maybe there is, maybe there is.
So that is a yes. Yeah.
Yeah, unconfirmed. But yeah, it's really, really cool. There's a guy called Cool Froggy, and when you see him, he makes the whole level fantastic.
I can't wait to try that out. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What kind of what are you expecting to get out of today for One Night Only? Because it's a brand new event.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a showcase later with a show that's going to be shown. Well, by the time you watch this, it'll have already gone out. But what are you trying to push forward for this?
I think for us it's just about representing the UK side of things a bit more and not relying on overseas events like this, and being here at the start of something. This is the first year. It'd be really nice to be there from the ground up as it keeps getting bigger, and it's really cool. There's lots of buzz around here and everyone's having a really nice time. There's some really cool things on display, not just our level. But
they have got a very cool bouncy castle behind us though.
But I think it's nice. It's kind of grassroots. It's kind of that ethos that we kind of have. We are a slightly bigger studio than we used to be, but we still have very much that indie mentality and a really family culture. And this kind of plays on that, I think. So it's cool to be a part of something so ground level, I would say.
That's awesome. Thank you for your time today, Dan. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a great day here. And I might attempt to go on the bouncy castle, or I might not for health and safety reasons. But thank you so much, Dan, for your time.
Nice one. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice one.
Brilliant.